So basically, to a layman, e-commerce is essentially electronic commerce, right? So it's a simple online exchange of goods and services over the internet. It involves online transactions between businesses, what we call B2Bs, businesses and consumers, what we call B2Cs, as well as between consumers and consumers, which is called C2Cs. So e-commerce encompasses a wide range of activities, including electronic business, online shopping, online marketplace or online marketplaces, electronic payments, online banking, and online auctions, right? Mm-hmm. So, everything you do in your shop, I like to talk about these guys at the Web New Market. I don't know why. I don't know why I think about them a lot on this show, because I believe they can be doing them. Not necessarily that I love them better than every other person,
okay.
Right? But I know they can be doing better, right?
Yeah, and you feel that there are so many things they're not getting
Exactly.
right.
Okay, number one, before I even go ahead to define e-commerce further, I've always tried to get people in the different markets in Enugu or the Southeast to understand, right? Mm-hmm. Now, becoming wealthy is not a problem. It's not difficult. People look at it as, if it's illegal, things are hard. We're really struggling. You're struggling because your customers are struggling. So when you're catering to customers that are struggling, your business will struggle. But when you cater to wealthy people who have money to pay for the commodities and services you offer, then your business will boom, right? So what these businesses have a problem of is not a lack of commodity, because you look at some stores at main markets, they are properly stocked, right? So they don't have a lack of commodity. They don't have a lack of capital. They have a business that is already structured and their stores are full. But the problem is that not enough customers are patronizing those businesses. So number one thing you can actually do is to take the shop that you have, find the nearest economically sound African country and move that shop there. It's that simple, really, right? You can move if it's Togo, you can decide to move that store to Togo. Because you see, there's an analogy I saw sometime. A bottle of water is sold, say a bottle of this is 7.8 cl, 7.75 cl, is sold in the supermarket for, say, about 150 naira, right? If you go to a distributor, it could be selling for as little as 80 naira, right? Then you go to the mall, it could be selling as high as 200 naira. Pay attention, these prices are changing with location.
Yes.
Right? So the same bottle that is selling for 80 naira at the local distributor changes price in the supermarket and changes price at the mall, right? Changes price at the airport. Actually, the airport is where you buy it the most. The same bottle of water selling for 80 naira could be sold for as much as 500 naira at the airport. Where you wouldn't have paid 80 naira on the street, by the street, and you will tell madam, why now? Why are you selling this bottle of water for 80 naira? But when you get to the airport, you will gladly pay 500 naira for the same bottle of water. So what I'm trying to say, in essence, is that when you relocate services and commodities, value changes. And so that's not what you might want to explore. Relocate your services to places where the values are higher, where the product or service is valued more, and you'll actually make money. That's on the side. Now, for e-commerce, these guys at main market as well can do better, right? But the problem, like I said at the last show, is that they are sitting down conventionally or traditionally, like they used to do, at their different stores. Now, I say, customer beer, yes, customer, I got sukata, customer in over here, waiting for the customer to come to you. The dynamics of business has changed. You now need to go to the customer. If Muhammad, God did they say, if the mountain will come,
if Muhammad can't come to the mountain,
the mountain will go to Muhammad. Yes. So you need to re-strategize and now take your business to the customer. Make it convenient for people to do business with you. That convenience translates to cash and translates to wealth eventually. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that in 2024, prepare that you are going to, plug your business to e-commerce, which is essentially electronic commerce, right? Stop waiting for the customers to come to your store. Take your business to the customer by way of an e-commerce website, right? Everything you sell today, be it a service, be it a commodity, be it food, be it akara, you're frying akara, you can plug that to e-commerce and watch that akara give you millions. I'm telling you.
Imagining how it's going to play out.
Okay, now let me tell you how it's going to play out.
Yes.
Now, you have TikTok, right?
Yes.
You have Instagram, right? You have Facebook, right?
Yes.
And all of these have ability to stream live.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All you need to do is make sure that the place where you sell this akara is neatly dressed. It's clean. Your pots are clean. So you can actually start by streaming how you clean your utensils after each day's sale. Right? You put a TikTok on your phone, get a little tripod, put a TikTok on. I'm trying to tell you how this can work, right? Now put that on that TikTok live and then begin to show your customers. And while you say stuff like, you see, we care about our customers. We make sure that we wash down, we disinfect with bleach, and we wash up everything, and we throw away all used, oils, right? And then we get our things ready for the next day's sales. Now listen, every customer that is health-centric like me will connect to that thing you're doing. Because if they'll understand, okay, this person is actually selling akara, but they are careful about their utensils, how clean they are, and how healthy they are for their customers. By doing that alone, you're connecting to a certain demographic of customers who care about what they eat and how healthy it is, right? Now, you move on from that. After you've done that, it could be a single live that you record and actually post on your, TikTok, your general TikTok or the social media platform, right? Then the next morning when you're preparing to get ready from, getting the beans out and washing it, you stream all of that. I see people do this. You go overseas, see people streaming their truck.
Is it possible that they would get to a point where they start making money off, creating those contents?
Yes, but that's not even where I'm going.
Okay.
Where I'm going is that now you're trying to, by how clean you are, by how meticulous you are, by how careful you are with preparing your dishes that you sell to the customers, you're connecting to a certain demographic that is actually, like for me, I don't buy stuff off the street. I don't eat in any restaurant. I eat only at home. Because I'm careful what I put in my mouth. I have very sensitive stomach. So somebody like me will connect to somebody like that. And there is a certain demographic of people that are like that. They'll connect with you. So in the morning, you start streaming how you prepare the beans, how you wash it, how you, all the processes to the point where you begin to fry it. Listen, people are seeing you already, right? And they need akara. They'll actually want to come by for you just because this akara person is doing something peculiar. They are streaming themselves selling akara. There's a girl I see on social media that fries Gary, a young girl, beautiful young girl as a matter of fact. Do you know that this girl is making so much money? People call her from Europe and just give her money to fry Gary and go share them free.
Okay.
No.
Okay, share for free.
Share for them share it on the street in their name. So she goes out to the street and she says, hey, my customer from Germany called and gave me some money and said I should fry Gary and give to you. Okay, so here is. People are rushing and taking Gary. Now the point I'm making is that she's done something that nobody has ever done before. Nobody has ever seen anybody getting cassava from the farm, cutting off the back, peeling the cassava, blending it, grinding it, and making it into Gary. She started it first, and now she's famous. Not only is she selling out her Gary, people are actually sending her money for no service. Take this one, I love what you're doing. Take this $200. Take this $100,000. The point I'm making is that with social media, you can actually connect to a certain demographic that actually requires your services or your commodities. Now, how do you plug in the e-commerce site? First of all, you promoted your business on social media just by doing these things I've said. Now, go to WhatsApp for Business. Upload pictures of your akara done, your plantain, your potatoes done, all of that, or any other product. I'm just trying to say something that is, very looked down on. Akara people are looked down on. But I'm trying to tell you that if you can make it work with akara, you can make it work with your boutique, with your shoe store.
Know this, but there are some things you don't look down on.
I'm telling you, so a lot of people are making millions actually. Yes. So if you do that, if you can actually do that, you'll make money. Plug it to that WhatsApp for Business, which is essentially an e-commerce platform now, and use that to sell your business, sell your market, or sell your product. Now, for those of you who can afford a proper e-commerce website, make sure that in 2024 you will, pay somebody to set up an e-commerce website for you, set up the payment gateway. So what that means is that when these people go to your website, they click on your products. The product button, they click on it, it opens to your store. And every product you have for sale will show. But they have been connected to a payment gateway, so that once they click on it, it takes them to the shopping cart. So they can move products to the shopping cart and at the end of the day, close the deal and pay you without necessarily coming to your store. What this does for you is that if that business is in Ababa, People that live in Owani can buy from you. People that live at New Haven can buy from you without necessarily needing to go to Ababa. People that live in Lagos can actually be served by you, even though you are in the local small locality in Enugu.
It's
but you
just
can
for you
serve
to
people
ship it to
all
them.
over Nigeria and all over the world. Now, my final analogy: a young girl set up a fish farm, and after her first harvest, she decided to smoke her fish and post it on social media. Do you know that somebody from the US saw this post and called this girl and placed a heavy order from the US in US dollars? And this girl was shocked. She didn't post it for US people. She didn't post it for people living outside Nigeria. Her intention was to sell to people probably in Lagos or Abuja. But somebody found her from all the way in the USA and became her customer. And today this girl is making a lot of money exporting goods to the US. So if you are a businessman, if you're a shop owner, you're a restaurant owner, you sell at Kenyatta Main Market, you have a shop at Ogbete Main Market, it doesn't matter what you do. You're an accountant, you're a doctor, you're a teacher. You can plug all of these services to e-commerce and begin to make a lot of money. Have you seen a lot of young people teaching mathematics on social media today?
Yeah, I see one or two.
I've seen a number of them. And do you know that they have clients overseas?
Even Igbo language, I have a friend
Exactly.
who does that.
Exactly.
And it's actually online. It's
Yeah.
not a physical class.
There was a young man I wanted to give a job. He told me he needed a job. But by the time I found him a job, he told me he didn't need the job anymore. Do you know why? He was teaching English to some Chinese students. He lives in Enugu.
That's beautiful.
And so he plugged it to social media and set up, and not essentially e-commerce this time, but he plugged it to social media. And now some people found him in China and then hired him to teach their kids English. And so this young man is living in Nigeria, turning down the job I found him because he's been able now, to plug it to e-commerce or to social media. So you can do the same. You that's listening to me right now, you can do the same with your business. It doesn't matter what that business is. It doesn't matter if it's a service provision business or if it's a product, a provider. That if that business is a store, it doesn't matter. You can use both social media and e-commerce platforms to create millions for your business in 2024.
Talking about plugging your business to e-commerce and digitalizing any skill or whatever business you have, it's like something that we say every time that we come here on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've looked at the benefits of plugging your business on e-commerce. Could there be negative side of it? Could there be factors that would hinder someone from successfully plugging his or her business on e-commerce?
Well, the first downside that I can think of is when you choose the wrong technician. Some people claim to be, I gave a guy from Bangladesh a job a few days ago, right? Everything he said he was going to do, he didn't do, right? Yet he claimed he was a professional, but I wanted to give him a shot, right? So I gave him that job through Fiverr. So now when he didn't deliver, I had to report him to Fiverr. And so Fiverr held the money back and wouldn't let him get the money. So the first downside will be that you choose the wrong technician who claims that he's going to set up the website, and at the end of the day he does a bad job, right? He may not even set up a proper gateway, and he tells you that he set it up. If you don't know, you're going to wonder why you're not making sales, but probably your gateway is not set up properly. So that's the first downside. You have to make sure that you find the right technician. And actually, if you want somebody to help you do that, call the number that we're going to give you at the end of the show, and we'll hook you up. And we have the technicians who can actually set up your e-commerce. That's the first one. Now, the other downside is that you don't set up a payment gateway, and then you decide to accept payment through transfers.
Okay.
And somebody will say, okay, send the goods. Some people, once you call a large amount of money, they get too excited. So you hear stories of people getting duped on social media.
Yes.
So you ordered a thing and you never get it, but you sent money. You had no reason, sending anybody anymore. This is on the part of people who are supposed to patronize you now, right? If you are trying to buy from an e-commerce website, make sure that you use a payment gateway, right? So that way you're safe. And if you are the one selling, make sure that they buy through the payment gateway. Don't have anybody tell you, send me the goods, and then I'll pay on delivery, or that I will send you the money once I see the goods.
Yes.
So they can say they are making a purchase of 1.5 million, and then you get excited. Oh, this is a lot of money. I don't want to lose it.
And you ship your goods.
A bird in the
out
hand is worth more than two in the bush, right?
Yes.
So don't go sell anybody anything, because the value of the transaction is huge, right? So these are some of the downsides. Make sure that they pay through the payment gateway. Go there, put the product on the shopping cart, close the deal, make payment, and when you receive a lot, then you can ship the goods, right? Okay. It happens a lot on Instagram. You know what I'm talking about.
I understand. I can relate.
Yes.
I can relate.
Then the other thing is we've also heard stories of even big stores like Deal Day and Jumia had their clients killed. You hear the story, right?
Yeah.
Right, where the customer actually paid, but then at the point of delivery, the delivery guy was kidnapped and murdered. So
we've had such things.
So you have to be careful with these.
You need to be very careful. So
issues.
Those things are planned out in a way that you don't need to get yourself exposed to unnecessary risks. Okay, this is still the Urban Marketplace. In case you are just joining us, we are discussing e-commerce and your business in 2024.